I'll give you two different examples. One is things that are not encrypted. You want your data to be encrypted, especially you as a consumer, and myself as well as a consumer. You want to have the level of trust in your providers, in the vendors that you're using, that whatever data that you're giving them is going to be encrypted, is going to be protected properly. It is still very common, going back to your example, to find and continuously find, oh, we forgot about this. Oh, we forgot about that. Oh, there's something in the, in transition, that where we take the data, process it, and then send it out, but that is not encrypted. And you end up with another database, with another location in your architecture that does not have adequate protections for the data that you have been entrusted with. So that's a classic example. Yeah, when we work with our customers, we often hear, well, yeah, like this is the architecture, this is where the data lies, and that's protected, that's encrypted or secured. Uh, and then they automatically go, and there's a lot of other areas that we're still trying to kind of find out and weed out, and every time something pops out, and the process, and again, it's less about finding, the process of now telling, or reconfiguring that environment to have the adequate protections is what takes a lot of time. Again, pretty much like your example of, oh, do this as well, and do that as well, do that as well. So, I'm just riffing on the same example, and giving you the corollary of what does that look like in an enterprise environment. The second example is, again, trivial. Keeping things open. Open S3 buckets has been, since pretty much the day that S3 buckets have been invented, the bane of security issues, and the equivalent of those. Basically, forgetting to properly restrict access to information. And
Hmm.
again, these might be storage units that are designed to have information in the clear, but should not be accessible to the public, especially if they can also be written to, not just read from. So, uh, finding all those things is one part of the problem. Fairly trivial, can still be automated to a large extent. Applying the right controls and making sure that they're not open to the public, and doing that as part of the overall architecture, is still one of the biggest problems. And what our customers tell us is, since we can do things in a contextual manner, we're not just slapping, a stop sign in front of an S3 bucket. We're not just shutting down an instance. We're understanding what is the architecture within that instance lives, and provide a bespoke, kind of curated, deterministic fix for that architecture to prevent access to that resource, while allowing that resource, that architectures, to still live. That's where we're being told that we're saving dozens of hours of engineering time that otherwise would have been spent on trying to kind of untangle, how does that environment look like, what are the requirements, what's the documentation. So these are the two most common kind of use cases. I'm not even talking about other things that are more hygiene or cost optimization, or even maintaining an environment, and upgrading and updating certain software components in that environment in an automated fashion that still takes into account the context, and not just trying to kind of mass upgrade a software version for a component that ends up typically with a disaster.
What is your ultimate goal for what you're doing in the next 3 to 5 years? And what would you like to leave people with in order for them to better understand why that's a vision worth working towards?
I'll make it very quick. The ultimate goal is to save people time, and especially organizations, to save engineers time that is currently spent in a non-effective manner, that is repeatable, that requires them to do a lot of reading and contextualizing. That's my goal, is to remove a lot of toil from the process of engineering, of platform engineering.